Computer. Hi, my name's Roland. I'm with Raymond Library and Tonya Baradaran. Did I say that?
Baradaran.
Baradaran. We've been she's been teaching me how to say her name. And this is her book she wrote. It's got a great story behind it because she has a son with autism. And this book was written for autistic children. So, Tonya, tell us more.
Yeah, it was, call it 2020. And, I'm walking through my neighborhood and we just finished up a pediatrician visit. And there's this laundry list of milestones that kids have to hit, right? And I was sitting there and my husband and I were kind of bummed because our son was missing a lot of his developmental milestones and he was also having speech delay. And, our pediatrician told us at the time, I don't want to call anything too soon, but I have my eyes on your son being a neurodivergent learner. And sure enough, right at 3 years old, he was diagnosed on the autism spectrum. And as we started to speak to our neighbors and friends and family about it, we learned we really weren't alone. So this really started off as a passion project for him. But then when I learned about just the need for other kids, I decided that, hey, I wanted to pursue this full time and really dedicate my work towards not only bringing this book to life to hit massive populations, but also taking a percentage of all the sales and giving it back to what I like to call my three pillars, which are literacy, autism acceptance, and inclusion efforts. So it's been the most rewarding work of my life, and I am so grateful to be able to take it on.
Absolutely. And this book is just a lovely testament to those three pillars. I have to say that is a beautiful thing because it really addresses literary because it's got words, right? And the words are super important,
Yes.
right? They're important because the way they're repeated, right? I mean, it is. And again, you said, what's the second pillar? It's
So
literacy.
it's literacy, autism acceptance, and inclusion.
Yeah. And I think it speaks to each one of those. I think so, because the story is so simple and elegant, isn't it?
Yeah, and I tried to be very conscious of how it was crafted, right? So a lot of the color choices, the rhyming, and then also I had all of these lessons from his speech pathologist and his teachers on things like pointing or advocating for your needs. And I tried to embed all of those lessons inside of the book so that way there it could hit multiple audiences. And it really spoke to not only all children, but was very neuro inclusive to all types of readers.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. That's a lovely aspect because kids on the autism spectrum have, I mean, there's a wide variety of how they would deal with this. I mean, some would only see the pictures, right? And can't read the text at all. Some would uh go try to decode the text.
And
You
I'll tell
know.
you, I've read these stories to so many kids. And there's been parents that have said to me, oh, my son or my daughter may not sit down because she's on the spectrum. And I say, well, I'm here and they're more than welcome to join us. And sure enough, every single time they sit down the entire time and they engage. And that's why I chose my son's favorite toy, the car, right? Kids love cars. And it just keeps them engaged. The stories are short enough that by the time they're ready for something to change or a shift, we're on to the next one.
Yeah.
And it's just been such a delight. And to your point, I mean, I read somewhere that what is it? 1 out of 6 kids have developmental delays. Maybe roughly 8% of the population has some sort of speech delay. And I think
Wow.
the latest statistic was 1 out of 31 kids is diagnosed autistic. That's diagnosis. That's not even the people that aren't diagnosed, correct? So I only forecast the need continuing to increase as we learn and we accept more, right? So I'm really proud that end of month I'll have this available in a much more approachable price point, as well as a coloring book to help kids with their fine motor skills. Yeah, it was inspired by the last pages. I received a lot of positive feedback. Parents really loved that the surprise at the end were coloring pages for the kids. I remember as a kid, I used to love coloring and drawing inside of my books. So I wanted to bring that to life for them and truly make the book theirs. It's written for them. So we'll have a coloring book that will be available with one of the short stories coming out very soon. And then
Oh,
also, yeah, and also I had a heavy population of people ask me to create the book in a Spanish version. So in September, we'll be releasing the Spanish version in partnership with a colleague of Scholastic, which will be really great as well. So we're really
yeah.
trying to make an impact, touch, and reach a lot of kids and help, right? Help families everywhere.
That's the point. That's the point of having a something that they can engage with
Yep.
and yeah, and tell their own stories eventually, I think. It's beautiful. It's
Thank
really
you so
beautiful.
much. Thank you so much.
So
And
thank
and I
you.
will say this too, libraries. You guys are just pillars of the community. The programming that you guys offer, the assortment, the love, the care for the communities that you guys exhibit every single day. That's what really helps bring all of this to life. So thank you for all of your work and your dedication to inclusion and literacy and acceptance, because librarians and libraries themselves just do so much to help everybody and help the community. So really
Yes,
appreciate you.
and knowing our community is very important to us.
Yeah,
Who is our community? And every library, every public library has a different community. So you have to
exactly.
get to know them. This Meet the Author series is really about local authors, and you're from Windsor, but
Yes.
you're living in Texas now, and I want to tell you this is really awesome because I don't think we've had a local author that was coming in from another state before. So this is kind of cool.
Well,
And
I'll tell you this,
yeah,
Connecticut will always be home for me. So I picked two geographies that I pour my investment into financially with the sales of the books. And Connecticut, specifically the Hartford Metroplex, is one. And
and
then
your
also the
dad
Dallas.
worked for Pratt, right? Your dad
My
worked
my parents met at Pratt and Whitney, so right down the street. So I am Connecticut through and through, a New England girl. I've got my Yukon Husky on my
Oh,
desk.
oh
So
no. Are they, is that a bad sign in Texas though? I mean, with UConn,
no, no. As long as it's not some rival here in Texas,
right?
you're okay. So, but no, it's Connecticut's really been ahead in the support and inclusion efforts across the autism community, and the work has been just very inspiring to bring tidbits of that into the Texas communities as well. So,
Yeah,
taking dollars and being able to provide books for schools, being able to provide sensory spaces and do inclusion events like books and bubbles and things like that,
yes,
just to make sure that all the kids are included and able to share a
that's
space in a sensory
that's right.
friendly way.
You bring the bubbles with you.
I bring the
So
bubbles.
cool. That's so cool when you bring the
I
bubbles.
bring the bubbles, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's been incredible. I've launched a website, www.funspeech.org, and it just gives people the avenue to understand the mission, have pictures and some of the testimonies of, hey, when you do purchase this type of book, these are the types of things that are going directly back into our public education system to help support the growth for all kids and help them become the best versions of themselves. That's the
Yeah.
idea. Help kids become the best versions of themselves.
Yes. And all of us are children that need that. We all
Yes.
need to be the best versions of ourselves, the
Yeah.
highest versions. Well, I'm really thankful to be able to talk to you and let's wind this up.
All
So,
right.
you've said some important things. I hope people can re-record this and listen to it again and again because it's super, the things that you've said.
Thank
Um,
you.
so, okay, I'm going to say goodbye and I'm going to stop the recording, but
Okay.
I'm not going to say goodbye permanently. We're just
Okay.
gonna stop the recording. If I can figure out how to do that, that would be great. Let's see. Pause, stop. Okay, stop.